money, my race I've been running. So many things coming my way, but I keep moving, Charlie. The devil keeps fighting, and they can keep hating, but nobody's standing my way. No be today, yeah. I'm unstoppable, unavailable. I'm a star, unsociable, and untouchable. Like a guy, I'm uncoachable, unpredictable, but I shine very bright. And I fly so high like an eagle. Me, I'm a hero. From the good time straight to people. Keep believing that there's tomorrow. I was down, but I'm at the top. I got joy from LIB, joy from overseas. Joy, ain't no telling me. I feel my energy with joy. So much joy. Got more blessings on blessings, yeah. I got joy from LIB, joy from overseas. Joy, ain't no telling me. I feel my energy with joy. So much joy. Got more blessings on blessings, yeah. I give God the glory, give God the honor. He deserves my praise. He's my one and only. He's the reason I'm happy. Without him, I'm nothing. He give me joy in the morning. When others look down on me, shoot that on me, he was there for me. When I was nobody, he made me somebody. He gave me everything, he protect my peace. He forgive my sins. He always help me keep on making my people happy. Reliance to keep celebrating. We continental, we never gonna stop. We heading straight to the top. I got joy from LIB, joy from overseas. Joy, ain't no telling me. I feel my energy with joy. So much joy. Got more blessings on blessings, yeah. I got joy from LIB, joy from overseas. Joy, ain't no telling me. I feel my energy with joy. So much joy. Got more blessings on blessings, yeah. I'm unavailable, I'm a star, untouchable, and untouchable. Like a guy, I'm uncoachable, unpredictable, but I shine very bright.
Sabi girl no dey too like talk. Animals dey in human form. Body man nobody like work, but you must hustle if you want job. You no finish they won't fight us. If them they run them no fit catch up. I know they form say I too righteous. No con they form say you too like us. You no get the time for the hate and the bad.
My race I've been running. So many things coming my way, but I keep moving, Charlie. The devil keeps fighting, and they can keep hating, but nobody's standing my way. No be today, yeah. I'm unstoppable, unavailable. I'm a star, unsociable, and untouchable. Like a guy, I'm uncoachable, unpredictable, but I shine very bright. And I fly so high like an eagle. Me, I'm a hero. From the good time straight to people. Keep believing that there's tomorrow. I was down, but I'm at the top. I got joy from LIB, joy from overseas. Joy, ain't no telling me. I feel my energy with joy. So much joy. Got more blessings on blessings, yeah. I got joy from LIB, joy from overseas. Joy, ain't no telling me. I feel my energy with joy. glory. Give God the honor. He deserves my praise. He's my one and only. He's the reason I'm happy. Without him, I'm nothing. He gave me joy in the morning. When others looked down on me, truth that on me, he was there for me. When I was nobody, he made me somebody. He gave me everything, he protect my peace. He forgive my sins. He always help me keep on making my people happy. Relentless, he keep celebrating. We continental, we never gonna stop. We heading straight to the top. I got joy from LIP, joy from overseas. Joy, ain't no telling me. I feel my energy with joy. So much joy. Got more blessings on blessings, yeah. I got joy from LIP, joy from overseas, joy, ain't no telling me. And I feel my energy with joy, so much joy. Got more blessings on blessings, yeah. I'm a star, untouchable, and untouchable. Like a guy, I'm approachable, unpredictable, but I shine very bright.
Modernization, chicken from one pressure, street orientation.
DJ Calvin on the mix.
Modernization, from one nigga sharp bro. I'm a nigga sharp bro. Cover face like Bløggèr. Get feel like but we don't take up. TikTok boys them tap. Pass for the shit rababa. Omo eat your rababa. Feeling good banana. Music don't need permission to enter a space. Anyway, I'm here, you know say you go feel me. Music don't need permission to enter a space. Yeah. Anyway, anyhow, you know, say you go feel me.
Exclusive from DJ Calvin.
How you love a Gucci cat on Kawa. But bad naked papa. I live in like no wonder. The one yana, what you, happy dog, our living. I don't need popcorn, but no feeling good.
Slap me for I'm losing focus. I'm feeling so lost. The mother girls jealous, cause you switch me past the locks. Show me your true color, pass my up color. The mother girls jealous, cause you switch me past the locks. Oh, my yellow pepe, your body check. You don't make me mess, boo. I lose my sense. My yellow pepe, your body check. You don't make me mess, boo. I'm boo. Girl, I wanna give you better. All right, my girl. All right, my. Oh, alright, my. Girl, I wanna give you better. You don't make me mess, boo. I'm boo. Body causing wahala from Marka to Persona. Why you don't suck up like that? This one no be a genre. Didn't show color, I'm a shape, be a level. Me, I get it, I'm losing focus. I'm feeling so lost. The mother girls jealous, cause you switch me past the locks. Show me your true color, pass my up color. The mother girls jealous, cause you switch me past the locks. Oh, my yellow pepe, your body check. You don't make me mess, boo. I lose my sense. Only things to want,
Mono more, on the cardio, catch up with your balana. Alhamdulillah, call me for that. Yeah. I'm a girl, walk on. I don't walk in those. But the power sporty, but it's zero shorty. Put him one, I'm on two. When you call a mura, they give him the level. Touch your body, touch your body, Hollywood, and the way down, touch the body, touch your body, oh yeah, hello, madam, you
DJ Calvin on the mix.
Still feeling good, summer helicopter. Hello, Abami Fapo, Abami Shayo, 247. Oh baby, sọ̀rọ̀ mi sọ̀rọ̀ pa. Jẹ́rọ náà ẹ̀rọ fi ṣe fàájì o. Sáré máa yí wọ́n rí nǹkan sí pàdé. Touch your body, touch your body,
Spiral, fine girls for my kids. Vanessa did for my place. Tolani said did for my state. But I tell all of them to come out for my face. Come out for my face. If they like it, they talk me, they start to put it. If you know they, I know where to go celebrate. If you want me to sing, I go sing on my day. All of those I see the later. Because of you, I spend my day. I don't know how I need for my later. You're the only fine girl. Only fine girl. If you ever leave me, no deceiving.
And make us me to dance. You know me want one more chance. But I let them know, say now you way they making my heart to salute, baby, destined and body. You steal my heart, I know, go police for you. Every time you call my cellular, you just gave us my medulla. And I know that you're not regular, spectacular. But I know my tabula rasa all day. Now only your face I dey anticipate, oh baby. Believe me when I say you're the only fine boy that I know. Only fine boy in my soul. Only fine boy where I dey charge for my phone. If you ever leave me now, only know I go broke. Don't deceive me now, only broke. After you,
now what are they just to make my house to pay? Never leave, I know, shall I get? Say now ever the time that energy go away. I want to play me a one boy, and the ego plenty stop cross. I want to play me a one boy, I want to play me a one boy, and the ego plenty stop cross. I want to play me a one boy, I want money. Now let's say go the bring. Oh, pick up on a self-day. Net you come for. You know go like where I fashion. You know go like to buy mansion. And then don't mention. Find you this surplus and you chicks on your man. I want to play me, I want boy. The ego plenty surplus. I want to play me, I want boy. I want boy, I want boy. I want to play me, I want boy. The ego plenty surplus. I want to play me, I want boy. I want boy. I want boy. I want boy.
Exclusive from DJ Calvin. Don't touch that.
Oh, if I ever hurt you, girl, I'm sorry. Oh, my baby, no go leave me for lose a D. My Annabella, say now only you they know me, oh. But I know say carry my money, make we go faji. Baby, waiting so faji. Baby, waiting so faji. Baby, waiting so faji. Baby, waiting faji. Baby, waiting so. Catch my baby point, oh. Make them throw me punch, say me I go take it out, oh. If them make them talk, oh. Make them talk rumors, oh. Make them throw me punch, say me I go take it out, oh. Baby, make you no do cow, oh. You take anything where you want, I be talk and do. Money too long, you get back to. I know say you dey feel me, so no good the mess. Girl, you dey reason me one kind, any day pay me, any day pay me.
People were off on road, yeah. I would like to say good morning to all of you listening. We have to say every breakfast straight up to 10 o'clock this morning. The love of Lagos take us together. Let's just speak on. Good morning, folks. How y'all doing this morning? My name is Rodeo. Well, you I know. Yes, yeah. I hope you know. Yes, I hope you do. This is our a lot of things happening across the world. It's like Nigeria as well. We want to say good morning to all of our followers this morning across the country. Specifically the people of Marka County, different, and we see the light, and we breathe the breath of life to take our thank you for another day. So we're happy to be here this morning to all of you across the country. Big things happening, and yes, we hear the topic and talk. It is our work to always remind those who are charged with the responsibility to lead the country. So every time we come here, we will remind you of your duties and responsibilities to the country. And I think at some point in time, there was let us know that we get tired, but never get tired. All like to see us. Like I'm tell any other person, don't get tired with yourself. Choose to not get tired of our country like this. All of you will be calling us our regular silent listeners this morning. Most of the time, you will send us text messages to greet us and tell us, oh yes, I've been silent listeners to people that some will say 6 years ago, since 10 years ago, and all of that. So we are special this morning to all of you. And all of you are always talking. Yeah, man. Always talking. So, yes, good morning. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. A lot of things. Yeah. And you don't make me laugh. Don't scare me. I like what is on the news. I like the picture of the yeah, no, exactly. Not budget someone said that. Magic. But yeah, good morning, folks. Good things happening. The Russian Empire in Nigeria and all of that. Yes, guys. Russia, you want to go to Russia? You should come back to Russia. That's my thing. Let's see in Russia. What is people again? Yeah, I don't know. You guys going to be a lot, right? I don't feel like I'm happy. Everybody. If I got equal lot. Not so you can you're like, you're like, And when going out, don't you feel some don't you majority blood? Yeah, but let's go happy what's coming up. There's something people sometimes the majority, the majority rules, but sometimes the majority is wrong. Yeah. And the minority is right. But because they say that majority rules, some people say that, hey, then I hate. Oh, sometimes the majority can be wrong. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, sometimes it can be wrong. Yes. Sometimes the majority can be wrong. Yes. Even that nonsense, American believe say the majority have voted in one election. Yeah. Some people believe the majority were wrong. So I got lashing at somebody why he voted Donald Trump. Yeah. American people, we hope that our whatever all other countries will work. Even will work. Amen. I thought of it. No other countries. Possibly we can have them now, sir. Just because of the US yeah. Because usually you have to choose, President Biden was charged of right now in a week now. Biden will not be charged with the President Trump. The election will be charged. So even if the President Trump, it doesn't matter because it's President. That's the President. So I think the party is very happy. A lot of people are happy. What policy direction the administration decides to take and voting all the people. I think that is very correct. And after the election, I think that this because there is a transition. Yes, that will be a good diplomat. Yes, you get it. Good morning to the Hawaii Foreign Minister. Let me say, as of the South Africa, very good. Yeah, let's move on to the so Maki is I think he's jobless people. Very professional, but jobless. Yeah, professional man, but jobless. I'm probably retired. I think he's a professional man. I remember where I was supposed to go out to the door I saw in the front. Yeah. I was in that week was there. I didn't serve no yanking with that. But meanwhile, you're professional. No, yeah, but that's a fact. Like, even nothing was the way it was. What a good lawyer. It's a professional man. We can respect you a lot. Now, he's a man, but that doesn't matter for his job in the game. You want to a long time, you're welcome to the Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, Monday morning, the breakfast show. Good morning. Happy birthday. He wasn't like it. Yes, just trying to. Yeah, this is very wonderful. What is the your retired into colors? The blue and the green. The green are unity party, right? The blue are still. Yeah, they're retired. I see it. Is it possible? Yeah. Is it possible? Like, where you can retire into colors? Who they did ANC, the opportunity to see one video. Table. I mean, you really what is I think so. We are refreshing. Yeah. Look, that's a point. Rock on is not. I will call him. Oh, yeah. So they have a driving screen and drive that way. Yeah, rock on. Is a great man and like very proud of you. Yes. But some of you are around you will not be able to do that. And when we retire the blue and green, I can yellow color.
wear Pluto many as that na normal thing. Presido with the big machine. Your girlfriend wanna suck my team, but not be that kind person I be. If I pass smoke, give you a enough pass, that me say it don't cast, no last chance. It don't cast you, it don't cast you, it don't cast. It don't cast. It don't cast, it don't cast. Say it don't cast. It don't cast you, it don't cast. It don't cast, it don't cast. Say it don't cast. We all get on full double clock for net. 12:30 use both no.
So who is a self look for this kind of life ever contested by even party country to face the attention from what is happening with federal police? It's not a good thing. Anyway, as we start looking for the receipt for the immigration, let's move. Now, was it Monday or Monday morning? Yeah. You see what the morning feel about surprise we feel about yeah. Yeah, so things are focused around Nigeria sponsor the show. Again, coming up next, workshop will be coming up media. Our studio chat is highlight on key issues in depth here leading to a software products, creating the TV startup and as an everyday issue is managing across the country. Study and policies. Before you yeah. Again, associate justice cabinet Janet, right on the case of very cool. I think the president is not that there's a major issue. I remember the last time we had an opportunity to be with police very there. It is mentioned that they were desperate to kill the people. This really so that is the last time. Just to go about the story, we go to any training that's the issue now. So we have yes. So we'll talk about that this morning and we'll read out the letter pointing out where the no warrant for. So we'll talk about that in their communication. They representative of this district this interview is strong. Yeah. After the health several forces going out about national politics. They will put you here. They are not so you haven't seen the report. Yes. They will be live in 40 talking about our they will put a common law because everything happening in the common office. Yeah, yeah, so we'll have it talking here this morning up to 10 after 9 this morning. Right after that, we'll be report senior commercial they look at around like 9:15 to 4 o'clock. Yes, we have from the Nigeria Chamber of Commerce, the head of the Nigeria Chamber of Commerce, is about issues concerning the chamber, the investment business private support, Chamber of Commerce, we talked about that, the upcoming business launch scheduled for the 21st of this month. We will go to yes, we will come, we will talk more about that. So it will be our guest here this morning. CBS, yes, based on call. This is the first of this morning. Yes, very well. Very well. That's how our last coming up. Three minutes. 3 minutes. Yes, yes, they hired us for nothing but what we Okay. And you get it. Yes, sir. Well, then, interesting is our first segment. Imagine the way that you will get everything. Let's bring the review. We need to Nigeria. Let's see the paper. I'm not seeing part. Let's put the review. Yeah, so the review of the paper is a regular feature right here on the Truth Breakfast Show 961 FM, the hot and soul of Nigeria. Let's start with our first stop this morning. This is the news report of the news newspaper. Job budget offers back while Hawkeye seeks expert advice on submission. Well, the first is capture of the front page of the news is that the capture read the rest of the story. Whereby use of drugs and natural medicine. Well, what is this? Well, you get a detail of the story of the whole center page of the paper graphic copy. This will be the back page, otherwise the Angel being our classes. It's right here on the back page of the newspaper this morning. On answer questions in depth of a soldier investigated before release. Well, graphic copy of the paper. Yes, let's look at the video of over a paper of two page, release story of two page, and rest of the newspaper start station. Former Associate Justice Janet Clark for his immediate interest in art protest. These were the coverage of the data for what we used to go to charity. And owning of the cross-party line is a question mark. What does that mean? It's got a couple of people you read. You get people with a strong Bible website to outline data people who are. Who is the Dr. Lisa Bird, DFK, General Administrator and CEO. When two elephants beat the grass surface, Raptor NJ aliens right here. Out there, the earth of Roswell and right? Yes, you got the right one of the people of the Buckies. Stars like your concept, you Victoria was Captain Archbishop Paul for adopting holistic, empathetic approach. What that means is grab a couple of years of newspaper and you do to the Marka of bank to strengthen interface happening unity. Yeah, so because of time now, that's my end. It's the New Republic, FOIC game, what's happening, FOIC game, on the foundation of New Republic, like all mediation features. Well, the people is captured for 90 years, look very serious. Well, what is my take on the thing? It's not the police game. But FOIC game, but you have what happened to the New Republic, still the foundation of the New Republic, like it is, and we not the president captured yet on the front page of the dark page, of the dark page. Nasir on site at MCC. 2 for giving it. I'm still going to find that this one, yeah. Of course, I like it, man. Number 2 is what is here. Why is it asking for forgiveness? Yeah, yeah. So, that's what it's but that looks like it's right. Yes, I can tell you. Yeah, it's right. Yes, yes. Someone question for giving that. Just on the back page, in the review for my hand this morning. Yes, so let me just take the video for the a couple of these people. Where the country is like, you just eyes with what yeah. And it does shift its foreign policy. Well, the deputy foreign minister, like say writing, yeah, for international cooperation institutions, Iranian is right here on the front page of the university. Female lawmakers top arrest report on reproduce gender disparity in the legislation. Three female senators here, Republican, Kalapapula, and the Republican Lawrence. Yeah, For the first time, I haven't seen the entire rabbit. But the show is not new. I only saw those everything happening. Right? I showed the one following. Just a brief highlight, like I have now, talking. All right. Just want to remind the houses here on TSTV. I don't forget that before. Actually, we just remind you. Mine's an MJ. Yes, what is happening? Since the team of inspectors went to Brandon, Maryland, Simon, engineer, they have been doing it for unit, trying to have it in the country. Let's hope that people bring out the results of the release. Yes, let's get our attention to come to the village. Yes, I think I'm going to see this. I want you to read out. This is what I'm sure. This is separate. We move on to IGA. We also saw some of Lazarus. It's in last Wednesday. There was a heavy traffic. Someone called around. So what's going on? Roadblock from the St. Francis Junction all the way up to Freeport. What's happening? Migrants. After reading this, we'll have our own fair analysis of this. This is what is happening. I want you to read this. This is the only 14. This is good morning to members of the majority. Yeah, I want to enter your floor. The university is not go to session and go and vote. Okay, look for your action. Yeah, you also have the end of the having sex. Great, yes. And before you read this publication, right, something is going to happen. Mark my word. Yeah? There are several positions happening with the Minister of Interior. Hope to go. And the first is humanity. And first and my the first of the Minister of Interior. Save it. Save that comment for me. Yes, I have to read it. Yes, so let me read out this publication and it says information about the Janet. It says my client, Khalifa Sharif, was not here. Ohio, Monrovia, two Liberian people. So I want to put there, as Marka is doing this, Guinea was arrested in jail. So Liberian, go ahead. Said his grandfather was Imam Al-Hadi Sekou Sharif of blessed memory was one of the most respected imams of the 50s and 60s of the dentistry of Baghdad Mosque. As a nationally respected religious figure, Imam Al-Hadi Makkah Sekou Sharif's funeral was attended here with the president of the government to honor the imam inestimable contributions to nation building. Although my client, this is Camille Director, go ahead. Although my client, Khalifa Sharif, spent most of his early childhood in the province of Guinea, due largely to the Liberian civil conflict. That does not make me the Guinean national, as we falsely circulated the Liberian state security position. I mean, that's basically it. Because a lot of people seriously well, the information is Liberian, the charge were accusing Paris, they are not only reporting to him. Yes. Yes. So as part of what the regional putting on secret interest is the imagine who is right now that after and as we speak, there is a protest. We have a new team right now on Main Street. Okay, so just go ahead. I'll continue. According to okay, Councilor Jara said Khalifa Sharif's house was raided more than 6 weeks ago in which time he was arrested and his business money seized by a joint team of police officers of the Nigerian National Police and those of the National warrant during the day. So if the officers who created the terrorist premises under the instructions of the Inspector General of Police and the Solicitor General who Minister of Justice to continue to be powerful orders to bring to court all of the assets including cash and illegal yeah. He said today the energy this is Costa Cabinet Market Unit. The former Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Appeal says up to date the officers who raided the terrorist premises under the instructions of the Inspector General of Police and the Solicitor General, Minister of Justice, have continued to dispatch orders to bring to court all of the items seized, including cash and two vehicles. So, Jana continues. He said, Jana has further informed the press that early Sunday morning, we cannot see between 3 and 4 a.m., the Inspector General of Police, heading his team of security officers who knows their way into the comfort of the Baroda Central Prison and without any reference to the code which permitted the judiciary took Mr. Caliber Sheriff away. This is clear. Yes, it's here. The police Inspector General, the other senior officers went and took yes, and took his client away without any warrant, anything, just yes. Yes. One of the lawyers representing this Sheriff okay. Yes, so the Cabinet General is opening accusing the Inspector General and Solicitor General of Liberia of kidnapping. His first degree felony crime in Liberia. Yes. The General also says that the removal of his client from the Monrovia Central Prison was ordered by senior national security actors of the regime government. This act, he said, is a concrete demonstration of lawlessness under the Bløggèr administration. Councillor Jada as well to ensure that the sheriff is released as ordered by the court without any further delay. He says that he will personally organize public demonstration against national security officers as there is no longer any respect for those orders under the current administration. The demonstrations against these officers will continue, according to Councillor Jada, until the court's orders releasing the sheriff are fully applied with.
Yeah, so this is Councillor Cabinet. So it is no secret now that people know so that's the information about Sharif, Khalifa Sharif, born here, grew up in Guinea. But the court has asked,
According to his lawyer, because of the
yeah, because of the and everybody could stay on the road. But the court is asking where is that? So I mean, the first name is coming up. If you listen to Yeka yesterday, I will announce it for you. Remember what's going on there? You know, massive protest. That's what really pressing attention because I'm not about administration protecting the rule of law. You can say something.
so honestly to this we don't know what to do. Yeah, let it go. Let it go. Okay. I know maybe this somebody will say why it's for national security or national security or the business, but the first thing is because of your authority and the sort of good, yeah, so good. So because as it stands now, even though the data is the director thing that the international layer officers do not have so we will lose this QC.
I think this will reach out to the president. That's what I want to say. Good morning. Look when you're around the president. Look for the security advice, right? You're around the president. You got a wise man around the president. You don't. You're not waiting for massive protest. You're going for all massive protest. I mean, if someone can talk to Gregor, Greg, what's happening? Now, then they accused that this people was incel, this people are crazy at midnight. Those were racist living for the to do this kind of red eye, you push. You say you lead a massive protest, he push. Because you see what the people said, do this. Do nothing, man. Look, you here on the president, every this to the president. Maybe he's not even know. If every party is where everybody can go. Let me just say this out. Everyone of you can go out. If every can go out, every one of you, this cannot be happening. This cannot be right. The government is concerned when they are thinking that young boy, who was around for 9, 10 years, and the school have said, bring it, let it out, you can produce it. Hey, man. And as we speak, police have just interrupted a protest on 9th Street at Elections Commission. You know, those who have said they are working with tech, and they're having it, as we speak, that's how you want the police to be able to take care of it. The police should not be coming to news for the wrong reason. Just yesterday, I saw a guy who said he was a spell for the police going live with Naked yesterday. Live one call. This the police. Yeah, man. This is not it. Just reach it to the president. Just get it to the president. If Kabila will come out and write and say, okay, I will lead a protest against state security. You fight. Take this to the serious things. Let's get a line open up before that. Look, the whole one thing all the time is this also football, right? What is happening between, I mean, Casemiro and Christopher G. Yeah, the way that Christian Villa, yeah, I would say Christian Villa, to a lower place of people, but who wants to see Casemiro? Also, this happening at Marka. Yes, listening so far, there you were people for 5 minutes. Yes, we come out to the US, sending you to the community there. So if Kabila will say, you will leave very long time. Yeah, that's how I want. I need all the Irish people. Look, what a very short of all. What is your leader talking against this security? No, so I can read this. I mean, what? Yeah, let's get the lines. Let's do some. Yeah, 07259 and 0770 then we come to Iberian. What Okay, that used to be right there. Good morning. Good morning. Go ahead. Yes. Yeah. Good morning. Wait, hold on, journalist. Go ahead. You be a seasoned journalist. You pick up in a journalist push. So a legal person will say you lead a program against state security. Okay, great. We'll bring in their topic to look at a little bit. Let's get two more calls up. And this is the breakfast show. This will not be good to see shooters against state security. Don't doubt it. Don't overlook it. Don't overlook it. Let's get calls. Good morning. What up, Mateo? Why is the man letting body? That's what I do. I also want to know the thing there. Oh, okay. Yes. Right. Good morning. Thank you. Let's speak up. We'll speak up very quickly. Good morning. You think Abena Jala is foolish because legal person saying this, what should be respected? Okay. Yes, Father, we are going to grow up more. Yeah, those are what I mean, no one's ever but I'm not saying the food is coming up with months ago, we were talking about those type of organizations, we all have now it is into this only even when you take it and this go to the bar association. Giants like he's push. Like the concept brings not everybody. And you can tell them so good to see, but I'm calling on those around the president. Please don't think you can't get to it. If you own a children through your own anything. So what happens? It is turn off without encouragement, the reaper will take it down. Every command every command call is up to the enemy. Who is telling how on such fact anybody can do it. If the president finds out, this should reach the president's attention. Let's move on to our guest. Thanks so much for your patience. But as we'll put this our guest on the first section. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. The saga in house of yes, we want to take it.
Pardon? No, no, I was right here. Yeah, I was right here. I was in my car right here. Oh, you didn't tell me to do so, and you're quick to give people 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm okay. No, that guy will intimidate you. So I'm used to it. He can't do it to me. Mhm. Well, Vanish Sharma anyway, let me not call names. We invited certain people, and those people who were not prepared to sit before us really cut tough time with us. I was on 4 different committees. Yeah, 4 committees. And I was never chair of any. I don't care how much you know in those days. Once you were in an opposition to really head a committee was very, very tough. We were always co-chair or member or something. So we invited several persons, and some of them were not prepared to really sit before us. And I don't want to call it intimidation, but we asked them hard questions. But people like Vani Sharma were very comfortable, prepared to talk to us. I no, not in government. Uh, we invited him to talk about some legal issues. Yeah, yeah, 51st. Well, in terms of what? If you're talking about money, about what? All right. Okay, we had just come from war. That was in 1987. And so we had a heavy load on our heads and we had to do the people's business. There was no time for all of these things you see here today. Uh, for example, we established a central bank. We created 2 new counties, Refugee and Buffalo, and so many things. So many things.
You know, you hear a lot of legislature is a problem for the country. Legislature is a problem. You believe that?
Well, I believe we the people are the problem, even though by extension the legislature. You know, when I was coming from the States in 2005, a Liberian called Dwe left his seat and came and sat by me and asked me, Mr. Coty, I've been following you in Liberia a long time. What is our main problem in Liberia? I said to him, we don't have God-fearing leaders. He said to me, I look at it the other way around, we don't really have God-fearing voters. We see certain people and know that they don't really belong there. But because of certain reason, maybe money or rights or something, we put them there. And the thing is that I think there's a kind of swear on this country that we need to really pray about. The Liberian people have done their best by removing people and replacing them, but yet the problem is still there at that legislature. I remember in 2014, in fact, it happened 2 different times, when 15 senators went for re-election, 13 were booted out and only 2 went back, Joel Howard Taylor and Prince Johnson. It happened another time. The same 2 people were brought back and 13 were booted out. But the ones that came in were worse than the first ones. Like you see right now, people went in there recently as lights, somewhere are car battery, somewhere there are car tires, but they are worse than anything. Those big English you used to hear.
Do your parents have one at what? Like
Some people were in the legislature as light. Oh yeah, they only light. They play to them. They play what rotten. People were spineless. All this kind of thing. But look at what's happening today. I mean, it's just unfortunate. I don't know what's going to change this place.
I think the French president go from someone was saying it gets a little more than you can always say our biggest problem is this house. We release.
But that's what I'm telling you. But who put them there? You see somebody who is insulting everybody every day, and you still look. Let me not be too personal here today. You called me for a different thing, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's
Oh, they're the same thing. You're right. They're the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so the way you are here specifically to try your personal or of the
Well, thank you for this invitation. I appreciate it very much. I have tried to get out of politics and sports for a very long time. You won't believe that I haven't been to the football field for a very long time, though I'm a sports person. But I decided to just stay back. Now, I think this is a game plan. We must be very careful. I'm here this morning. When you called me, I was very happy to be here. I think this is a game plan that Unity Party need to open their eyes on. I have a strong belief that this is a game plan by some people to make this government look ugly. When I hear people talking about corruption, accusing the speaker of corruption, I'm not here to defend the speaker. No. Whether he's corrupt or not corrupt, I don't know. I don't have the proof. But who is not corrupt in our house? Who? Who is not corrupt? Thomas Fala? Or who? All of them are corrupt. And let me just give you some examples. The definition of corruption is actually dishonesty. When you unequally distribute the wealth that belongs to everybody to benefit you and your family, you are a rogue. You are corrupt. This is what is happening. All the noise you hear about some people telling me we're angry, we expel this person, so scheme is a plan. I am here to call on the chairman of Unity Party, Reverend Tappe. Open your eyes. Don't sit there and allow Thomas Fala to take over that house. We will be finished forever, ever, even. They have a plan to make this government look ugly if you don't know, Mr. Chairman.
You're just suspended by
oh. Man, forget about that, man. Flow show. Flow show. Plan. This is a scheme. Reverend Tappe, I'm asking you today, appealing to you, please call on the Unity Party people who are part of the majority bloc. Tell them to return to the speaker's side. And let all of us as Liberians encourage the majority bloc to return to the Capitol building and go and do what they're supposed to do in there. But as I see it, this plan, if it goes through and Thomas Fowler becomes speaker, we are finished. I believe that one of the reasons why some people want that man out is because he's not doing what they expected. People were looking for a speaker who will sit there and oppose everything from the president. It's not happening. They are disappointed. Oh, yes, they are disappointed. They see the speaker working in line with the government. They don't like that. They're disappointed. We have to be very careful. Who is not corrupt in there? Let me give you some of the examples of some corruption that are going on in there. When you choose to receive $6,000 every month in a country like this with this economy, Real Madrid, the budget of Real Madrid is $800 million. One football club, one club, $800 million.
Yeah.
This whole country budget has never even reached $800 million. But yet, lawmakers, the light, the spoon, the battery, all of them are there receiving $6,000 take home. That is corruption. It's dishonesty. When you choose to receive $3,000 every month for fuel or gasoline in an economy like this, where our schools don't have chairs, public schools no chairs, that is corruption. When you choose to receive $45,000 car every 3 years, when drugs are not in our hospitals, that is corruption. I said something the other day, it was fully recorded here. You didn't play it because it was fully recorded. I'm here to repeat that. Oh yeah, I'm here to repeat it. Those of you government officials, whether in the legislature or the executive or judiciary, who are so wicked to your people, I got a message for you from God. Oh yeah.
God spoke to you.
He didn't speak
That
to me.
is a message from God.
I did not hear it from God, but I know it's from God. I got news for you. We have done our best to change you, and you just can't change. We tried that by removing some people, but each time new ones come in, they're worse than the first ones. Oh yeah. So thieves. They're worse than the first ones. But I got news for you. God Almighty.
Who you refer to? Who are you referring to as thief?
The Liberian people who are stealing from us. Anybody who is stealing from us is a thief. Yeah. I'm not going to be particular here to say this person, that
Let's
person.
get a message from God. You start receiving a message from God.
I have a message here from God. God Almighty has a way of saying, enough is enough. When you steal from people who have given you job and power, take it as a loan. It will come back to you with interest. Whether you are a lawmaker or from the executive or judiciary, I'm telling you this from God. He is saying that he has a way of saying enough is enough. When you steal from people who give you job and power, he has a way of saying enough is enough. He said you must take it as a loan. It will come back to you with interest. And you will pay not double, not triple, not quadruple, but quintuple. 5 times you will pay. I repeat, when you steal from people through the budget to benefit you and your family, building universities that are better than LU in Nimba here and in other places. I'm not going to call any particular name here. You know yourselves. When you were making business yesterday as a Duga Flare person, selling Duga Flare, selling plank, and selling cold water.
But about just call name now. What
No. We just talking. We don't have to call names.
You need somebody finger the budget to take something that.
My dear brother, where is the money coming from? All the big shiny universities you see around here, where they coming from? Where do you think the money is coming from? Somebody who was selling Duga Flare yesterday, or plank, or pushing wheelbarrow, is today a millionaire with 33 trucks. Where is the money coming from?
You say trucks?
Yes.
Bløggèr own trucks?
They have 33 trucks.
Okay.
Some of them in the executive got trucks too.
Okay.
They know themselves. Where is the money coming from? God is saying, when you steal from the people to enrich yourself and your family, take it as a loan. it will come back to you with interest. Not double, not triple, not quadruple, but quintuple. 5 times you will pay. Another message I got for you from God is this: you will not die until you taste the evil of your deeds. You will still go to God and face justice on the judgment day. But before time, you will not die until you taste the evil of your deed. You will feel it right here.
You are saying all of this because there are people just looking for at least a dollar to eat, and there are others, I mean, who's benefiting the family, all of it, and no one cares.
Stealing from them, they don't just care. But look at the situation. You're receiving $45,000 car every 3 years. Why? In a country like this, and they got no shame. And some of them are so arrogant. You can see the arrogance in their faces, even their tone. You know, some of our lawmakers and executive members or whoever, let me just say some government officials, I still think that the people that lead are a bunch of stupid people. No. We are not fools around here. We can see, we can read. We know what's happening. We are not stupid people. They do and enrich their family members. Some have homes abroad. Oh, yeah, they have homes abroad. And let me tell you something from God. Some of you, no good drugs, nothing. You will be in your grave crying for your children.
You swearing?
I was sweating, yes.
Swearing?
I was sweating. You will be in your grave crying to God for your children.
The council of churches should be doing what you're doing now.
My friend,
the council of churches
I will do it before the coming. I'm swearing all of you today. Those of you who are stealing from us and children are suffering here. No good school, no chairs. Some schools, people sit on block. Certain schools, 400 students, only one chair, one student, teacher. If you keep doing those things, you I don't know how to put this thing. But some of you will be in your graves crying for your children. You will see them catching hell, suffering, and you will say, Father, help my children. What have they done to deserve what they're going through?
Mr. Koti, why are you very negative about the legislature? What are some positives you know?
Hey, man, I'm not saying legislature alone. I said those who are doing bad to us, people in the executives are stealing. Oh, yeah. People have stolen from us. I'm not talking about the reason why.
When they as minister or director general,
some of them,
whole family there, just
right?
Giving them.
Yeah, some of them are in the executive stealing. Okay. Some of them stole before many times, and they're still stealing.
But why you swear at this time? You should have swear way back then, like bro. Then maybe they have, some.
You think you were the leaders who came ahead made a lot of mistakes that are affecting the nation today?
Yeah. Leaders in the past made some mistakes. Yeah, nobody can doubt that. Well, leaders in the past stole in a day, but these people are stealing both day and night.
I didn't get that.
Yes, you will repeat yourself.
I will repeat.
That would be a good teaser. Yeah, is it that?
Let me repeat. I came to Monrovia in 1958.
No, that thing you said leaders in.
I'm coming to it. Okay. I want to tell you how I noticed. I came to Monrovia when I was 5 years old in 1958. Like I always say, I saw Tutman, I saw Talbot, I saw Doe. As for Ellie and Taylor, they are my good friends. Everybody knows that. Those people back then, during the Tutman days, stole money from this country. We know that. But they stole in the night. And then they hid it small. Talbot time, people stole money. Doe time, they stole money.
In the night.
But the people today are stealing both day and night. They steal from you and put it in your face. As if to say you can't do anything to them. What is this? You can't do that. You can't be that wicked. You steal from us and you just build mansions around here. What is this? Go and see some of the homes that people own in this place. Go see some of the universities and colleges. Then you go to LU and ask yourself, where are the lawmakers? When you see me emphasizing on the lawmakers today, that is the place where, that is the kitchen where the food is divided. They decide who gets what. Even if the budget comes from the executive, it will go there. They will decide, no, O'Neill deserves this, and Marka deserves this, and this budget. But everything, I, me, and myself. This is what. So all that noise you hear on the Capitol building here today, at the Capitol Hill, my friend, I believe, in my opinion, it's just a scheme.
Are you disappointed?
Very, very disappointed. And they have to change. The reason why I'm angry is this. When the Congo boys were leading this place, the Richard Henrys, the Johnsons and Joneses, when they were heading this place, we used to be behind them. Congo people are like this, Congo people are like that. But go to the legislature today. Joseph Belagadwan, Promo Patakoli, Mohamed Doumbouya, so country people.
But call that real names now. Why you looking for names in the bush to call?
My man, you know the people in the place.
You scared of content?
So someone is quoting you as well. They said this swaying thing, and they quoted the second old man that is swaying the legislature. Yes, I mean I don't want to call the person name.
Yeah.
The honorable ones are not satisfied and want stealing the goal won forever. Thus, I mean, let's go back on the Kofa thing here. For 90, what is all the problems coming for? The budget is yet to be submitted. If Fonante is going to survive this,
well, if he stands strong, he will. The point is this: I have listened to many views. Even last night, I listened to Spoon. I listened to a senator called Cheer. I listened to James Bonny, and I was not on the side of James Bonny. And let me say this: what I believe is that if you want to remove the speaker, go there.
Okay.
If you're really sure he's corrupt, maybe when you are afraid of when you get there, he will say, when you were wasting Miss Chama, this is what you did. Yeah, you took this one here, you did this. They will ask you how you got your school, how you got. Maybe you're scared to. You all go there. Go to the lecture. Go to the house and sit under one umbrella. Then raise your issue.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, we don't want you to be speaker anymore for A, B, C, D reasons. This is a communication. And then you put it into a vote. You'll give all the argument, put it into a vote. Because the point is, I just have a personal belief that because that speaker is not dancing the way they want him to dance. That's one of the reasons. But my own opinion. They were looking for a speaker who would do everything from the executive should push it on one side. This is what Unity Party is not looking at.
You think his party is not playing him right? I mean, some member of the CDC still wants him to be removed. That's why
my brother, scheme. You sit on there and
listen to former President George Weah.
Hey, my brother, don't stop.
Almost 2 hours. Hold on, sorry. Almost 2 hours. Gave you his full backing when
my brother. What's the next question you have of me?
I mean, so you don't want to answer that. The party have given a full backing.
I'm not part of them. Please don't ask me about party here. Please ask me your next question.
This question is: since he has given his full backing, he have suspended some of them who try to not support him.
Today is what? The 10th, eh?
Yeah, why you don't never mention it? Don't make mention. Okay, let's move on.
Let's move on, man.
That's right?
Man, let's move on.
Move on. Is it frustrating for Kofa?
It is frustrating, you see. But like I said, we don't know how it's going to end. But I hope that it's going to end well. The first thing Unity Party needs to do is to open their eyes clear and see what is really behind this thing. All this we suspect, we are against it. Forget it, my brother. I tell you something, forget it. Scheme.
David, I know, let me see, I think you attached some level of sentiment because you believe that most of the leaders in the country have not been doing the right thing in the interest of the country. However, people have always talked about the nature of the legislature. They say, well, there are legality, but it is very political as well. Speaker Kofa won with, I think, 36 votes as speaker. And today, 43 of the 73 members of the House say they don't want him. You don't see any genuine reason in their petition or what they call their resolution?
Whether they have a genuine case or not, I am saying go under one umbrella and then raise your issue. It will be done. But the way it's been done now, can you imagine 43 men and women feel so proud when they're in a long convoy from RLJ to the capital? People are looking at them. When the Liberian people's work is not being done, they feel so good riding in that long convoy and they're still getting paid.
You say they're working.
Working? Okay.
Should we pay them for the month of October?
Well, I'm not the one to say so.
Okay. Should Liberian people pay them?
Well, I'm not the one to say so. But my dear brother, my brothers in studio, I believe that whether they are right or not, they should do it correctly. This is why I disagree with Bonnie last night.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He was a little belligerent in his talk. They're like a little aggressive and they Weatherspoon had to even cool him down 1 or 2 times. They gave. I'm not for cheer. I'm not his party, but he was making some very good points. And the good point is, go there under the Capitol, under one umbrella, and raise your issue.
Do you miss the Capitol building? David Cote as a lawmaker. I'm here looking at you, back, eye to eye, and looking at David Cote. You miss the Capitol building.
Well, who would not miss? I mean, that question should go back to you. Expect me not to miss glory?
Then you could be someone will sway you now.
No, when I say glory, not in the way it's happening. When we were there, we
how much you are earning?
1,150.
1,000.
Yeah, 1,150.
The time value of money at that time, the money was
whether
valuable.
it was valuable. I mean, the money had value or not. I said that's what we're getting. We're getting 100 gallons of gasoline or fuel per month, and we got it for only 6 months. 6 months in the entire 6 years. You won't believe that. The whole 6 years, we got gasoline or fuel only in 6 months in the entire 6 years. And President Taylor even owed us before he left. Many months.
The government is continuing to the next president you are picking up.
Yeah, and that was because of the war. Nobody could blame Taylor for that. He was a good man. He is a good man. But it was war going on.
David, what is the recommendation to solve the issue at the House of Representatives?
My recommendation, 2 recommendations. First to Tape, Reverend Tape. Chairman Tape, call the Unity Party people and talk to them to get out of RLJ and join the COFA group. And then we should also talk to everybody else to join the COFA group and go take decision right in there. It should not be the way it's happening. It may go long, and that may be a problem for us.
So I bumped into a cycle before we get the telephone lines open up. The group of cyclists over the weekend is it, but every night and then removing the speaker, so what will even benefit we as Liberians now?
That's the point.
Keep removing speaker. What the benefit for us Liberians?
And still is still going on. Snow was removed, and problem still there. Tyler was removed, problem still there. So should we continue this way? No. If you still want to do it, like I said, I heard about Speaker taking money, budget, this, that. I don't have any proof. I'm not going to say it's true or lie. Go in there. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Our AJ people? What are you afraid of? Why are you not? Why can't you go in the place there and raise your issue? And if you are even smart enough, if you really have good points, you will convince other people who are right now with the speaker to join you. It will remove the man. I don't know Speaker Cooper. I met him once at the executive mansion. When I wanted to see the president, I was entering, he was coming out.
You think for the sake of the country, Cooper should resign?
No. For the sake of no country, but if he wants to, it should not be compulsory. If he wants to. But I think the best thing to do is they should get there together and raise their issue, get a number that they need, they 49 and remove.
If he's removing this kind of form of manner, the pro tem could be the next person.
What pro tem?
I mean the Senate pro tem. I mean that's how we're going to be continuing.
Oh, you mean yeah?
Yes.
It's not good. And my biggest fear right now, if Kofa resigns, who will go there? Thomas Fala?
We'll make a good speaker.
Yay! I beg you, let's talk something different. Thomas Fala?
He said, my
brother,
in our building, he's the highest, longest serving lawmaker.
Yeah, I know. But my dear brother, that's one of the reasons why I don't want Kofa to resign.
Okay.
If Kofa resigns, the next person who will claim that is Thomas Fala.
Yes.
God forbid it will not happen.
Why?
Hey, my man, look. Do you have another question?
Why?
I don't want him to get there.
Okay.
No, the public wants to know why.
I don't think he's not the right person to get there. Period.
He's not the right person. All right.
What do you mean by period? Are you getting a show?
All right.
All
right. Let me put it this way so you can get my. Let me put it this.
Yeah.
Let there be an audit.
Okay.
Of that legislature. Let there be an audit of that legislature, so that we can know who has been doing what. How people got their properties in this place. You want to know. That's all I can tell you. I can't go any further than that. Yes. Some follow when I get there.
Yes, on this view thing, this cross parties alliance, CDC, UP, are one of our interim, those who are put on sanction, like you had a big ball 1, big ball 2, all of it. Those who are representative and now senator, what is your take on it?
Those who are representatives and now
representative that now sanctioned, they are sanctioned now, they are crossed over to be senator. Yes.
I just told you that a friend of mine in 2005, when I was coming from the States, I went to use the restroom. On my way coming back, he saw me. Then he left his seat and came and sat by me. The question was, what is the problem in our country? I said, we don't have God-fearing leaders. The man said to me, we don't have God-fearing voters. That's a typical example. Hey, man, with all of those accusations, you still going to elect those people? Huh? My girl?
So I'm seeing a breaking news here. We'll have to verify this. John Chima of the Senate and Representative have come on a serious attack by unknown person. Okay, we'll have to verify this.
One person or group of people?
Yeah, unknown persons. Yeah, it's not clear what is the minority bloc or the majority bloc who committed such act. I think they have vandalized the area. We're gonna check this out. But let's get the lines activated in the meantime. I mean, we had it as different where you just listen to Councilor Kabina Janet saying that he's gonna do a protest on state security. And why are we going as a country respecting the rule of law? Like, it's going down, man.
Especially when we went through war for 14 years. No.
Yes, let's get the lines activated. Derek Ernest is our guest, former lawmaker. Well, was it District 3, Lofa County?
Yes. Well, district.
Yes, so we have the former lawmaker here. Call us on 0770-2025-79-077-285-961. Let me take try to pick the first caller here again. 0770-2025-79 and 077-285-961. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Marka.
Morning.
Yes, my name is Scøtt. I'm calling you from Chicken Factory.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much for inviting Honorable Deputy into studio. I want to tell you simply what is happening in the legislature is a very, very hard thing because everything is an abstract. It is hard to see. But believe me, Thomas Farah is not acting alone. He is working with the instruction of somebody. And that somebody will not come publicly to tell you that I did this.
Who do you think is the person?
Look, it is within the CDC branch.
Are you trying to accuse former President Weah?
Well, we are saying that the instruction has come from the CDC. They are the ones that do this because what? The manner in which they are seeing the speaker and the president moving, they are doing it professionally to eliminate Speaker Gofa, to diminish his popularity and also his finance, so that he will not be an eligible candidate, in 2029.
Okay.
That is the focus of the whole thing. But we are also calling the other lawmakers. I've seen that the government, have got a plan for that decision, and then we also have to the speaker, and the other people, we want to see that only
Okay, so let's confirm this. Yeah, this is confirmed. Yeah. Just 1 minute. Don't you all send me the representative on a serious attack of
The entire John Chimber. Yes. So seeing videos and pictures coming out. I mean, where are we heading as a country? Let's get both calls out. So it's confirmed.
The John Chimber.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you. The first thing is Honorable Cookie is not someone to be taken seriously.
Why?
Because he's always a friend to every president. He doesn't discriminate.
Does that mean that he doesn't have an opinion on national issue?
Thank you.
No, say okay, but I said we don't want to use you too.
Yeah.
So good morning.
Good morning to you and Marka. Good morning to thank you to this man studio this morning. My name is Fred, and I'm phone this morning for District 2 Mike A. And to be frank this morning, I really admire the way in which Mr. Boti told action. The man with recommendation going to the Liberian people. I think there is a need now that the Liberian people have fought, voting people for president, vice president on the horse. I think I want to reason I always bring the speaker removal. Because once you come in the hall and see to the position of president or vice president, you will not want the issue of audit. And me, I want to be very specific where I think I will show have on Mr. Jeremiah Parkour. So we want to call all the planning for the two factions. To see how best they can go on one table, what he said, to go to the Liberian people job.
All right. Thank you. Let them go to the Liberian people job. Let me take this call from this line. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka. This is Elizabeth Jokori, and I feel it from the second community.
Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say a big thanks to the students out there. God bless you. No one of us God keep blessing you. You have just said all. That is the truth about the whole matter. And I want to join my voice to you to call on the chairman of the Senate Party, Luther Topic. He needs to open his eyes. This is not time to sleep. This is the time to do the first good job that he will bring after all for 24 children on our back to put them power for this cause. Let him open his eyes, talk to all the lawmakers for the United Party to come and do things right. All these things are coming from special. It's not something strange to us. We know what happening behind the scene.
You want to tell us, huh?
Yeah?
What's happening behind the scene?
It will come to light.
Okay.
It will come to light. We get to know what happening behind the scene. So someone else want to do that for us to take our mind off there, but we know what's going on.
Okay.
Okay.
Because we're not being removed, you will sit there and will go there to all the representatives. You will tell how they are putting all of their money and their property in this country. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, my I'm just telling my here. If I don't eat today, I'm just telling
Thank you.
Let's pick our last caller.
Good morning.
Hi, Marka and O'Neill. Thank you for taking my call. This is Mr. McKay. And I want to say, Mr. Kuti, it seems like God took my mind and gave it to you. The way you think, you must have taken that from me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the air. You know, you hit the right buttons, the right notes. And I want to say, Mr. The representative, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, should remain for now until they can actually go to work and prove that he's done something wrong. The biggest thing I would say about Mr. Kofa is he should recuse himself from the law arena. He should recuse himself from there. That his company should not be taking contracts from people while he's still functioning away in the law system. It's wrong. He's working for the government. He should not be in that category by now. The people who are against Mr. Kofa, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Kofa, it's pretty clear that these people don't like to see Liberia move in the right direction. If they're not leading. And I'm talking directly to the CDCs. They have done this before, and the people elected Mr. Boyka, President Boyka, to occupy that space. What they should do now is to buttress Mr. Boyka's efforts to make Liberia a better place. I keep hearing people asking, where are we going? What are we going to? All these questions are very, very much in place. The biggest thing is that if we could just clear our minds, one more thing, please. When it comes to spirituality, God business, Liberia has actually pushed God on the back burner. It would be extremely important if the clergy start to push very, very hard, diligently, that our children, like I'm doing in my church, working on the minds of my children in the church to comprehend the importance of making God first. He will take you to the direction and the place you want to go without serious effort on your part, because he is there for that reason. Liberia has lost its strength.
Okay.
To God.
So as we take leave of you, I mean, this is very saddening. The majority block, the entire John Chimber have been vandalized. Where are we going as a country? Where are we heading? The entire I want you to put this picture up. Put pictures up. The entire John Chimber. Mr. Kote, you can come in, listen over the color of Marka. I mean, this is not a good time.
Come on outside?
No, I mean, you can come through now.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're running out of time. We have our guests coming up.
All right. Well, let me say many thanks for the invitation, and I'm sorry about the sad news I'm hearing here. Now, this is the same thing we've been seeing. Now, look at what I'm looking at there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, more pictures coming up.
Are those serious people? Man, they only in their own interest, man. Thank you for the invitation, and have a good day.
Oh,
no, you got questions on my answer?
Yes, I mean, let's take part in come. I mean, I think it's okay, man. You have said it all, man. You know.
Okay, David.
Look at it there before you go. Look at the other picture. Put this up quick before you take this. This is the John Chimber, right?
Oh, I think the will do.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will pray.
Yes, Yes.
So
put it up.
it is should I say too quick to call, but we cannot
Get
say
point finger
much
who's
right
focus.
now. Yes. If that's the joint chamber,
Yes.
put
that up.
I don't know. So I don't know what to say until we can
Yes.
give chance to whether an investigation from state securities to accepting as
Yeah,
to
but then it has CC camera in that building.
who is behind that.
They have security cameras in the building.
Yeah,
They have security cameras.
you sure?
What?
Yeah. The representative then using one microphone from one another, then you say you get security.
Did you have a? You seen that? You seen that? You see
Yeah.
that?
Let me just figure out.
There you seen that picture?
Yeah, I see.
Yes, that's what it is. So so the information is to the public. There is in the public now. We are receiving reports that there's some vandalization of the joint chamber of the legislature. That's where the majority block has been having sections.
Oh,
yeah,
right in there.
Yeah, right there.
That's where the
majority
majority
block.
block
Meaning
is
that
having
tomorrow they're
sections.
not going to go there.
But they might go there and just sit down somewhere. If people got dry face.
They get what?
Dry face.
Drop. Anyway. Yeah, so that's it. We take a break. The way Koti, thanks for coming through this morning.
Thank you too.
Yeah, so we are taking a break to be back. This is the TPS of Truth 96.1 FM.
I just said let you get it. I say I smoke this here. Always money. Experience our quality financial services. Getting money from Orange Money to Orange Money.
You are great, Papa. You are great, Papa. Papa, you too much, oh. Papa, you for my mother, Papa. You are great to me. You are great, Papa. In every situation, Papa. Papa, you too much, oh. That's why I trust you, Lord. Hey, when my love they waka waka, Papa, now you I turn to. Hey, when wahala comes my way, now you are wrong too. Hey, oh God, you said I should trust you, keep my faith in you. You will work it out for me. Now see my life today. Hey, everything they you are great to me. In everything I do, you've been there for me. You're too much, you're too much, you're too much. Hey, you're too much to me. There is no God like you. In the heavens above the earth, there is no like you. Jehovah Elohim, hey, my strong creator. Jehovah Elion, hey, Lord, you are the most high God. Jehovah Jireh, you are my provider. Hey, Jehovah Elima, the mighty, mighty, mighty God. You make my life the forever you are great in my life. You're too much, you're too much. Oh. I've got to declare that today. You are great, Baba. Oh, God. You are great to me and my family. Hey, Baba. Somebody shout it out today. Baba, Baba, Baba. Somebody shout it out. You're too much, you're too much, you're too much. Baba, you're too much. You're too much, okay. You're too much, you're too much. I cannot explain it. Just breathe. Papa, you're too much. Hey, you are the God who never sleep nor slumber. Your watches over your own. Hey, hey, to him all.
Yes, of course, already seated in studios to our sons again, singer from our guy bringing live this morning on the TV this morning. Yes. And so, was joined the head of the Library Chamber of Commerce this morning as our guest on the show this morning. And, sir, good morning. Welcome to the TPS. This is People Friend.
Good morning. Uh, I hope that I'm speaking loud enough. I can be heard.
Yes, you are.
Very loud and clear. You look so energetic.
Okay, I'll take that. Thank you very much for that compliment. But it's good morning and good morning to your listening public, to the listening public.
Yes, that is great. Again, for the sake of the public, you care to give her a little bit of who is Matthew Davis?
Yes, I am currently serving as the president of the Liberia Chamber of Commerce. And I'm here today to, I guess, to share with you some of the good news of the progress that the chamber has been making over the last few years, and the efforts that we're making in trying to at least advocate for the continued improving the business environment, and also for addressing some of the critical small issues that we could all collectively work together out of the way to improve the growth of the Liberian economy.
That is great. So I know a lot of people are following. I know they've heard before. The Chamber of Commerce. What is it? They want to know what role does it play in the country, whether in the private sector, the public sector. What is the Chamber of Commerce?
The Liberia Chamber of Commerce is predominantly a business member organization. It was established by the Act of the National Legislature in 1951. And primarily, our membership consists of businesses from across the board, large businesses, small businesses, Liberian business ownership, as well as non-Liberian business ownership. And to a large extent, we provide services to our members, as well as engage and represent the private sector in a lot of discussions with the government when we're trying to talk about issues associated with public policy as to how they impact economic activity and business activity, more specifically here in Liberia. And also the Chamber is a member of the International Chamber of Commerce, a member of the ECOWAS Chamber of Commerce, and now the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce.
Pan-African Chamber of Commerce. Okay, let's look at about enhancing business kind of report prepared by Liberia Chamber of Commerce. You can talk about this committee, Commerce Governance Committee.
Yeah, this is a product. This is the first product we are producing under my administration. My administration commenced from February of this year, and it's a 2-year term. The chamber has been going through a restructuring and rebuilding process in terms of the institution, which commenced from the leadership of Wendell Addy, and then proceeded through the leadership of now Councillor N. Oswald Twe, who is currently the Minister of Justice. And through that process, the chamber restructured, moving the presidency from a 1-year term to a 2-year term. Also under Councillor Twe, we were able to do our 3-year strategic plan. And that strategic plan is what we're doing now, what I'm doing now is carrying out the first operating year of that strategic plan. And primarily, the focus of the restructuring or the 3-year strategic plan is how we build our value proposition, one, to our membership, because of course they pay membership dues. So exactly what are they getting for being members of the chamber? And also how do we make the chamber as an organization, as an institution, fit for purpose for our current times as we find ourselves in Liberia. as I said, the chamber was established since 1951. Of course, a lot of things have changed, and so that the chamber itself has to change in order.
Since 1951.
Since 1951, yes. So the chamber itself has to change and be able to reflect and adapt and operate within the current environment. And so that is some of what we've been doing. And the launch of this report represents some of that effort by being our first report following the beginning of this administration and the beginning of this term. And that report brought out a number of challenges. It observed the number of challenges that we are facing, but it also, of course, brought out some recommendations. When we took over the leadership of the chamber, one of the first things that we did was to commence a stakeholder consultation process, beginning first with the various actors in the government, which included all three branches of government, getting an appreciation of some of the key issues around public policy, particularly as it affects the business community. And then we initiated a process that was led by our governance committee to actually then hold some stakeholder consultations with a broad spectrum of the business community, covering a number of different sectors, the concession sectors, the importers, the manufacturers, the traders, and all of that, and being able then to use those inputs that came from that stakeholder consultation in terms of developing a report of what were some of the key issues that the business community in general and our membership in specific would like to highlight and bring to the attention of government, and what are some of the recommendations that come forward as primarily as an advocacy organization in terms of our engagement with the government, is to be able to bring some verifiable facts to the government, and not be able to just say grab things out of the sky, but to bring some verifiable facts to the government and say, can we hold a discussion on these issues? Can we try to see how we address these issues? And so that the governance committee work was led by a team of the members of the chamber, led by Mrs. Vida Menza, and they had a few other members that were part of that. Of course, the chamber is run by a council. I am the president, but there are two vice presidents, and there are 16 council members that makes up the council that manages the affairs of the chamber. Our current membership is just around 200. The decision that was taken during the previous administration of the chamber was to reduce our membership dues from 1,000, which was on average 1,000 per member per annum, to 350 and 250 in order to attract more Liberian-owned businesses. And that number has, I can say that number has been growing a bit since over the course of this year.
So before we talk maybe some more details about this report, what businesses organizations to make a benefit from the procedure of yes, what do they return?
Well, the first thing that they get in return is to associate with a body of, again, collective businesses. However, in the chamber network, businesses that are members of the chamber are able to enjoy various discounts from other member businesses of the chamber if they interact and do business. So if I'm a member of the chamber and I'm buying from, say, for instance, a building material store that is a member of the chamber, there are discounts that would be offered to that chamber member through that building material store or through that business furniture store, or whatever the case may be. It's the same way in terms of maybe perhaps professional services or whatever that. Chamber members may benefit from discounts that are shared back and forth from the different members of the chamber.
What is the country? I know you said this was established out of the legislature.
What impact on the country? Sorry, I didn't understand the question. Well, giving return to the country. What the chamber does is the chamber tries to engage policy decisions of the government. The most significant aspect of that is to be able to work with the government to ensure that the right policy actions and decisions are taken. That's a critical piece. And that's critical for job creation and things of that nature. The report, for instance, brings out a lot of the challenges that the economy is facing. Let me give you one example that is occurring. The National Port Authority is one of it significantly impacts the Liberian economy because Liberia essentially is a trading economy. We consume what we don't produce. We produce what we don't consume. So pretty much just about so much of what we consume comes through the port. And the effective management of the port and removing some of the bottlenecks and challenges that importers face by bringing goods through the port, either coming in or going out, impacts the entire economy because the higher the cost, the longer the time, the more significant the challenges as far as moving your goods and your containers that come through the port. It adds costs to those particular items, and that increased cost invariably gets passed on to the consuming public.
Okay. Yeah, so let's talk about some of the key recommendations in that report. So what are some of the key recommendations in the report?
Well, one of the critical findings that the report found, aside from the consultations that we have, the report also looked at ancillary reports that have been produced concerning Liberia and concerning the broader African development context. And so the report also incorporates some of the recommendations and findings from the World Bank country report on Liberia, as well as the Africa Youth Survey, which was conducted across Africa, while specifically not including Liberia, but also taking information that cuts across the continent, that gathers data from across the continent. And the critical thing is that we have, of course, everybody knows we have a high youthful population, but the youths are concerned. The critical things that come, and let me say, when the definition of youth as we have it a lot in Liberia and really across Africa is between the ages of 18 and 35. That's the official definition of youth. Okay, and so the principal concerns that is coming forward is, of course, almost 60% of the youths that have been surveyed, continental-wise, and as I said, it's anecdotally, which also refers to Liberia, is that those young people are thinking about, are seriously considering immigrating. And the main reasons why they're considering immigrating is because there are no opportunities being created for them in their countries. And that's a big challenge for us here in Liberia. In Liberia, we graduate over 10,000 students a year from the university at the college level. Okay, and the jobs that we are creating, of course, it's very difficult to find the data for the jobs that we're creating. But one of the, through our just stakeholder consultations, we find that on average, it takes somewhere between 3 to 5 years for someone who has graduated from college to be able to find a job. And even that job that they find is not necessarily what we say is significantly sustainable employment. And that's a challenge for us. That's a challenge for us as a country and as a nation. Additionally, some of the findings we found was that what is coming out of the vocational school, those who are graduating from the vocational school are not necessarily just fit to purpose for the demands that is occurring in the marketplace. And a need to then address how we are actually developing vocational curriculum that is fit to purpose with what the business community and how business is growing and developing. That's another critical area. Now, of course, when this government came in, we heard the announcement that they were creating a separate vocational governance framework separate from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and that whole governance framework was meant to begin to improve how we deal with vocational training and how we deal with vocational development. And so we engage, as an organization, we engage that process with the government and with the other stakeholders by being able to share with them what is being said by the business community, who essentially are the beneficiaries, okay, of the products that are coming out of the vocational schools. And what the beneficiaries are saying is there's a mismatch. Okay, and therefore, with that mismatch, we're bringing people out of the vocational schools that have least or diminished opportunities for being able to find real employment. And so, as a chamber, our engagement at the policy level with government is continuing to see how we get that fit properly. How do we match that to make sure what government is doing is also supportive of what is required for businesses to grow and evolve.
So the general outlook of the economy, I know one of your key roles will be a better economy, how you can contribute to that, and maybe through policy advice and all of that. But at it stands, what do you look at the economy to be opportunities, how potentials you see?
We think that there are, well, you say some key near-term interventions that we can work with, that the government can focus on trying to do. That would be, we know that the government is working on a national development plan. We know all of those big things. Yeah, we've gone through. No, I mean, look, I used to be in government, so I understand that also from the macro level. Okay, you had PAPT, you had the Agenda for Transformation. So clearly, those are necessary steps that need to be taken. But those are broad plans. Those plans then need to be articulated into annual plans of the government. And that annual plan, that will be the first thing that we will be expecting to see of the government, of course, is when the government brings forward its 2025 budget, because then that budget will be speaking to exactly how it intends to execute that plan. But that's at the bigger level. Okay, but at the more real level things that we can begin to do now. For instance, we have a lot of trading businesses here. You have different inspections. You have commerce inspection, you have labor inspection, you have health inspection. One of the things that we've said and the report has brought up, let's improve the coordination around inspections. Because just from inspections, it takes up the time of the business person, because this week the commerce inspectors come. Then the next week, labor inspectors come. Then the next week, you have health inspectors. Then the next week, you have EPA. Then the following week, you have Monrovia City Corporation as a government. And we've been engaging the Ministry of Commerce as a government. Can you not bring all those parties together and say, how do we can... Of course, there are issues.
Are these issues that you are receiving reports from your members that
yes,
these
we are.
kind of activities are a little bit cumbersome for them?
Not just cumbersome, but beyond being cumbersome, sometimes can be obstructive. Because sometimes with some of those inspections, then they demand that, people have to report to the ministry or that particular ministry or agency. And when people do that, it takes away from their time and all of those things there. And it's a lot of times it comes down to really, as I said, aside from coordination, the actual planning within those sector ministries. You're coming to meet these business people. What are the records you have from before? Okay, so when you come in, you're not coming and then asking for all of the same records that you looked at 3 months ago or that you looked at 6 months ago. Okay, so it all almost borders on harassment for a lot of the businesses. And that itself is not necessarily.
Why you think you can solve that?
What we think that can, the first thing, as we said, coordination. The Ministry of Commerce, okay, is for the Chamber of Commerce is one of our lead ministries. For the Ministry of Commerce to provide leadership, just bring the different agencies together and say, how do we coordinate? We have to do this. We have to do our inspection. But how do we coordinate that we do it, that it minimizes the obstruction and the time taken away from people doing business? Because the time that people take to do business, they are supposed to be improving their profitability, improving their growth, and therefore creating more employment opportunities. Okay. Yeah. So coordination, and coordination is not a big something that we have to jump way through hoops to do. We just have to say, okay, labor, come, commerce, come. So and just sit down and let's agree. Is there a way that we can do this a little better? Is there a way that we can do this a little bit more effective?
So for example, if it is a joint effort, most likely, if it is quarterly, then if it's one bulk inspection, the entire team will be on the board and just go ahead with that inspection of one.
Exactly.
Instead of commerce to me, should I use transport?
Yeah, transport coming, city hall coming, yeah, all this thing, yes.
You are pushing.
Yeah, that's one of those. That's one of those what they say low hanging fruits that we can begin to address.
Just mentioning, are there practical action towards achieving that?
Well, our engagement with the Ministry of Commerce is that the Ministry of Commerce should take the lead, right? First and foremost, to call the different agencies together and say, how can we improve coordination of our inspectors? No. That's the first step. That's the practical. And people will bring their ideas on the table. You know, in this country, everybody likes their domain. Everybody likes say, oh, the Ministry of Labor, oh, our area, our statutory areas. I say I've been in government. So by the time you sit down in one ministry, they're quick to tell you that's our statutory responsibility. All good and well. However, you need the business sector to operate and grow because it's from the business sector that the large percentage of your taxes come from. Not just profit taxes, but withholding taxes, okay, with turnover taxes, with taxes that paid for duty and all of those things. So the more where we sit down and we make fuss every day that the revenue is small and we're trying to get a revenue to 1 billion. How do you get the revenue to 1 billion? You get the revenue to 1 billion by improving the environment in which businesses operate, so that those businesses grow, so that they do more business, so they're not taking away time on things that can be better done.
That is right. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the Liberian businesses, for example. Over the period of time, they talk about the issue of access to credit.
Yeah,
they've mentioned that at some point in time, they even called on government to even see how they can invest through Liberian businesses, maybe using the private banks and all of that. But let's talk more about this issue of access to capital and improving Liberian owned businesses in terms of competitiveness. We have other foreign businesses and all of that, but Liberian businesses in particular have always complained about this access to credit and all of that.
Thank you very much. That's a very good question. And now let me begin to run you through from the macro to what we in economics call the meso and then the micro. From the macro, when we talk about access to credit, this means then public policy, government policy, right? Okay. The environment to lend from the financial institutions, there are different things that has to be done in public policy that improves that. For instance, the current structure of deposits in Liberia is primarily demand deposits, not savings. Okay? And demand deposits mean that the money that you put in the bank from your checking from when you get paid, you're going to spend that money as soon as it goes in. You're going to start buying food. So it's not in there for long term. That money, therefore, is not really easily available for the banks to lend. Okay. What is available for the banks to lend for is what you do in your savings, because in your savings, you're putting that money away for a long term. The banks then can use that to then say to lend to businesses as they operate. That area is quite thin. So public policy has to develop opportunities, ways and means to be able to continue to expand it and to create more basis for being able to get long-term capital into the market. One of the ways is around also the insurance sector. Okay, and there was some reform taking place in the insurance sector a few years ago, and then of course, then things just stopped because the insurance sector does have long-term money through reinsurance. But as the environment currently exists, most of the reinsurance is then done outside of Liberia so that money doesn't stay in the banking system. Like I said, that's at the macro level.
Mhm.
The last thing in the macro level is where the government actually engages from the development partners programs that would support improving access to finance, making monies available, like the Lift project, which was launched, I think, last year, 2023.
Okay.
And that Lift project is a $40 million support project through the World Bank,
Mhm.
20 million in loans and 20 million in grant. And that has $6 million in there to actually lend, okay, to Liberian businesses and small businesses. It has another 1 million to provide the type of technical assistance and technical support to the financial institutions to help them better develop products that are actually more responsive to the needs of businesses. Okay, because lending has different products. If I'm coming to look for money for trading, okay, which I'm bringing containers in, is different than if I'm trying to set up a processing plant where I need money for a longer term and so forth, and most likely a cheaper interest rate. And so those are some of the efforts that's contained in the Lift program. The Lift program also provides then technical assistance to the small business administrative office that exists within the Ministry of Commerce to help them then provide technical assistance to businesses, particularly in terms of access to market. Because it's one thing to borrow money to say I need money to do, but it's also you have to remove whatever those barriers that exist with regard to being able to sell more things. Now, to be very honest with you, one of the interesting things that has been occurring over the last several years, there are more and more Liberians that are going into food processing business, the different levels of food processing. And that's been occurring. It's been occurring very generically by young Liberians that are seeing some of the opportunities. And you see some of those things there on the supermarket shelves, and you see those situations there. Now, these businesses, they will definitely need financing to grow, but they will also need technical assistance. And the Lift project is geared to also do that. So that's a significant effort that the government had moved forward with. But as we tend to do things, sometimes we put bureaucracy in it and it slows things down. And so as we engage government, the chamber is a steering committee, the chamber is a member of that steering committee. And so the part of the effort of the Chamber of Commerce is to try to move some of that bureaucracy, because we can be very bureaucratic. That's in our DNA. We quick to be officious. We quick to say, and so forth and so on. Let the people go, come back. That kind of situation there. And our part of our work is say, our people, let's just see if we can move this thing one step at a time. Let's get it to move. And so the Lift project offers a lot of opportunity around access to finance. Some progress is being made, but the progress can be a little faster. Okay, that's what we stress. The progress can be a little faster. It supports some activity through the central bank. The first 3 million was provided to 3 participating banks. There's a total of an additional 3-point-something million that is supposed to go to those banks. But in addition to that, the 1 million that is supposed to support those banks for technical assistance has been slow to come out. So that is affecting, again, improving that access to finance as you talk about. There's another project that the government, and this is still at the macro now. There's another project of the government that was recently approved by the legislature, supported by the African Development Bank, which is going to be a youth entrepreneurship investment facility. And this is an investment facility which it provides financing, but not at a lending level in terms of actually taking equity, in those businesses. And that also represents a significant piece, because I think if my numbers are correct, it should be about 7 million that would be available for actual investment placements within businesses, particularly around startups and growth opportunities for youth and youth-led businesses.
Okay, so if you're just joining us, we having with us the president. Is that the title, president?
President, yes,
Yes, of the
president.
Liberia Chamber of Commerce. Here we're talking about the work they're doing, especially on the recent report, the first report on his administration, Mr. Nati Davis, correct? Yes. So again, I earlier mentioned about potential for job creation. You know, a lot of young people, like you mentioned earlier on, about the number of persons who are graduating from colleges and universities, the potential of them getting jobs, all of these issues in part of the economy and the life of the young people and the population as a whole. What do you see as a prospect? Maybe a year or two from now, we'll see the job creation skill. What do you see?
Well, one of the first things that we see in terms of the nature of our work, that's why we're releasing this report. We hope to release an annual report, and we hope that this commences that process of doing an annual report, which this provides, again, just a baseline. We operate in an environment where the chamber itself has challenging resources, but we hope that through the release of this report, and through some of the work that we'll be doing now over the next months associated with this, and the government itself coming up with its 2025 budget, we'll begin to see more business activity, a little bit more growth, which will perhaps translate into more businesses becoming members of the chamber. And that would then improve our own resource flow, so that the next report that we do, which will be an annual report around the time, right around the time that the budget would be released, will actually look at some specific data, okay? Because data is some of the key things. We can't, right now, we're speaking anecdotally about a number of things, but hopefully our next report would have more specific data, looking just broadly at the nature, and then even looking at regions, okay, where we see challenges occurring in terms of employment opportunities, but also where there are strong growth opportunities and potential for young people and for businesses in general. You know, small medium enterprises are, for most, just about all countries in the world, tend to be the backbone. Now, of course, our definition of small is different than you would find a definition of small in Germany, or the definition of small that you would find in Korea. But technically, the large volume of business activity still falls within that framework of SMEs. And so those things that we can do to improve, as you said, access to finance, but improve access to technology, to capability, to skills building, those are quite critical, because you have to operate as a business. You have to be able to recognize that, okay, my profit, my turnover doesn't mean profit. My turnover means that the goods that I put on the market today, I've sold it. Now I have to be able to separate what goes back to cover my inventory, what comes to cover my running costs, and then what I can consider is salary. So those types of technical assistance are also critical for businesses. And through the LIFT project, some of that is available as well. So now I'm getting down to the BSO, okay? And then as we then get down to the micro, more and more training opportunities for business owners. That program, other programs that are being done are geared towards that. We try to work with the different partners that are doing that to make sure that that information gets out there. And we begin to see, as I said, you can begin to see that emergence. Okay, so there's good prospect, there's good opportunity on the horizon. But as you talk about going into next year, the critical thing is the budget. This year, the government really hasn't been spending, and you can feel that in the economy. Okay, and so we're hoping that with the budget submission and the passage of the budget, the government will start spending. Now, this government, one of the things that we have learned as this government inherited is significant debt. Now, government is government, so they inherited a significant debt from the previous administration, some of which is debt that's owed to the banking sector. So if the government has sucked that money out from the banking sector, what money then does the banking sector have to lend to businesses? And so we hope that we know that it's a large amount. Estimates are somewhere around maybe about 100, 130 million. And we know that that would be a challenge for this administration to be able to address overnight. But we're hoping that when we see the budget will speak to that. Domestic debt, from what we've learned from this administration, they inherited close to about 60 million in domestic debt. And what do we call domestic debt? Domestic debt is money that you owe to vendors, okay, and businesses. You have a lot of Liberian businesses that are caught in that situation. You especially there were significant domestic debt around the road construction sector. Okay, so again, we'll be looking to see how the budget speaks to that, because if the budget can begin to at least pay off some of that, there will be more spending that will be occurring by businesses. There will be more funds available through the banks to lend, and that should continue to stimulate then the growth of the SME businesses, so forth and so on. So the budget will represent a critical piece as to what we see that we should expect. But as I said, this year, we haven't seen much government spending, and we haven't felt the government spending in the economy. Look at July 26. July 26, there are two periods in this year that you can look in and get a gauge for the economy. July 26 and Christmas. In Liberia, we say you know how the Christmas would be from the Eve. If you look at July 26, we know this Christmas would not be easy. It would not be all right again, because July 26 wasn't all right. You know, what occurs in this country is July 26, you have so many of the farmers, the traders, they're coming down, they're buying, it's a big thing for us, 26. You didn't feel it in the economy this year. Okay, I'm sure even if you look at your own personal situation, you think about it, you say, yeah, the 26 was a little rough. And so that being the case, we can see what Christmas will be. Government hasn't been spending.
Okay, yes, I know raising concern about this budget, especially with the political impact at the level of the House of Representatives. Are you worried about that?
Of course, I'm worried about it. I think we all should be worried about that. It's quite concerning. I mean, because of course, one of the things that what has to occur now is the budget, the review of the budget, and the review of the budget, and the passage of the budget, and the discussion of the budget has to be done in an environment where all parties are working together.
Absolutely.
Quite frankly, and all parties are working together in the interests of the Liberian people. And so it's critical, because the budget that the executive sends to the legislature must be scrutinized. Questions must be asked. Different how you say assumptions made by the executive should be challenged. Okay, to say on the base. So again, that effort that needs to be occurring over the next weeks, days, and weeks, yes, is worrisome when you see these challenges, that when you see the current occurrences. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we hope that we can talk about that. We'll be taking a couple of calls. So just before we do that, in 30 seconds, there is this rising concern about what appears to be just a shortage of the Liberian dollars. We're seeing the rate is dropping at some point to go to just maybe the money just along the way. Are you taking note of that?
Yes, we are taking note of that, and coming to that, it's most likely somewhat artificial. Again, because you're getting to Christmas, and because you're getting to Christmas, if you have large amounts of Liberian dollars in a small amount of hands, then they can manipulate that. Okay, and they can manipulate in a way where you're anticipating an influx of diaspora, okay, that are coming into Liberia. If I manipulate the rate and set a lower rate, I'm able to get those dollars for slightly cheaper as I'm paying Liberian dollars, right? Yes. Once all of those people now go and things of that nature, then I gradually now use my same manipulation, and the rate rises again. So while we can't really point to factual, but just from economics, and as we know how our local economy works, it would appear that that change that is currently occurring is artificial and is being manipulated. It would appear so.
Okay. Yes, just time with a couple of calls. Call us this morning on 0770-2025-79, 07725-777-28596. We have with us the Honorable President of the Liberia Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Patrick.
The president is fine. We like too much honorable business in this place, so let's just
Yeah, so whatever you want to make comment on the discussion this morning, you can call 0770-2025-79, 077728561. You can call. So as we await the calls, you want to tell us what you're hoping to achieve as a year?
yeah. Again, there's some of the recommendations again we put forward. We used to have a public-private sector dialogue where we are able then to engage with the key actors of this government with from the private sector representatives. We had our first meeting tete-a-tete with the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Minister Gafwa. And one of the things that we have recommended as the chamber is that now that the president has constituted the economic management team, that once they hold their first inaugural meeting, which they haven't done yet, and we're urging them to do so, that the next meeting, that in that inaugural meeting, they put on the agenda to then meet with the business community, the representation of the business community, where you will have your key economic managers, and then we can then deal with some of the, just like I said, there's some of the critical day-to-day issues that we need to address. One, of course, is around the port and is around, again, improving port operations, improving port services, and those things there that can reduce costs. Another thing that we find very critical is these annual renewals, for instance, for work permits and for residence permit. We can't continue to do things as the same way we've been doing it and to hope that we will get something different.
Okay, so let's take very much. Good morning.
Marka, thank you for taking my call. Good morning, Mr. Davis.
Good morning.
I appreciate you being on radio today. I want to know whether you have a projection on what Liberia will be as we see. Some positive in the economy of our country. Do you have a projection in maybe 2 years or so that Liberia will be on a smooth path where people can start feeling the impact of the economy?
All right.
Okay, well, thank you. That's a very good question. I wish I could be that soothsayer, but I think some of the critical steps that we will see to be able to make that determination is what we see first in the budget that the government brings, and what are some of those specific how you call it the investment component, that's the public sector investment component that's in the budget. Okay, a good bit of the budget is around salaries and wages. As we know, that takes a substantial portion of the budget, and basic government operations, stationery, supplies, fuel, vehicles, those kinds of things there. But we'll be looking to see what the public investment number looks like, the public sector investment package looks like, and we'll then look to see then how then that will move things forward. Again, smooth sailing will also be determined by what the government puts in its budget to address domestic debt, to begin to relieve domestic debt, and also a settlement with the financial institutions for some of those funds that are outstanding. And lastly, of course, is adherence to the budget execution. If we see a government that's over this year and over the next year that is sticking to executing the budget that's approved and not doing outside budgetary expenditure, because that is what occurred over the last several years in very, very significant amounts. That's why you have this situation in terms of the domestic debt and so forth, because instead of then paying for those things that we took from the business community, we let it then go into arrears. And in that arrears, because of course we did unbudgeted spending. So if we see that behavior, okay, over this next fiscal year, 2025 and 2026, I think that will represent a significant positive pathway that we can begin to look forward to answer his question.
Let's move stage. Yes, so Mr. Davis, we're taking leave of you now. Maybe just in 30 seconds or 1 minute, you can just say your parting comment.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to have this opportunity. We're going. We're having a few outreach activities associated with this report, and to be able to indicate that we hope to do this on an annual basis, and we hope to be able to come again to have much more data included in subsequent reports, and some of the key issues that are affecting our membership in the business community. We are responsible now to move the addressing those issues forward with the government, and that's what we're doing over the next months ahead.
Okay, we hope for a great media relationship with the chamber, so that Liberian people, the business community, can understand exactly what you are doing, visibility in the public. The media can do that. We hope that we can unite some good partnership.
I think there's a significant opportunity for engaging and collaborating with the media, to be very honest with you. And I think it's something that we should have more substantive discussions around.
Okay, thank you so much for coming to.
Thank you.
Okay, he's the president of the Liberian Chambers of Commerce, Mr. Nati Davis. He's been our guest on the last segment of the TBS this morning on Truth 96.1 FM. Thanks to all of you for joining us this morning. My name is Marka Davis. O'Neill Roberts was here, and our technical man behind the cameras, been carrying us live this morning on the TBS. We hope to be here tomorrow, Tuesday, with another edition of the show. Do have yourself a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Bye-bye.
Oh, my grandma, something about them.
Investigative as a business. Yes, sir.
The Spirit of the Lord is here. The Spirit of the Lord is here. The Spirit of the Lord is here. I feel it in the atmosphere. I feel it in the atmosphere. The Spirit of the Lord is here.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The Spirit of the Lord is here. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Let it change past up on the phone. But you have a card.
Let me give you my number.
Hallelujah.
Straight from the lab of Dr. Roy.
You deserve my praise. You're the wonder working God.
That's all.
You deserve my praise. You're the wonder working God. January to December, I see everywhere I go. Even in my life,
I will send you because I have my card.
wonder they making me want, making me want. Father, you got me. I give you my love because we have. Had not been for you, Jehovah, talking to my man. Cannot lie, you can't deny. That's why I run. Bless everyone.
I cannot count it all. Follow me every nation they travel Adam. He's a biggie, the mighty, I'm calling him the most high. From the north to the south, everywhere I go, I will not get to this is my year to wonder. Things you do, making the people to wonder how I made it. Over and over, you keep on blessing me. Even though I don't deserve it, Lord, you keep on blessing me. Hey, you making me dumble. You making me press my you making me speak. You making me give you what I do. I will get the game. I really just sing your name. Just sing your rock. I like the way you
And you can teach him the best set. Oh!
Fellow Nigerians, it's time to praise the Lord. Are you from the east, west, north, and south? Come on, rise up on your feet and let's give God praise. Hallelujah! Amen.
Yes, you see, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Yeah. Ta-da, ta-da-da-da. Ta-da, ta-da-da-da. Ta-da, ta-da-da-da. It's turning around for my good. It's turning around for my good. Oh. When the doctor said no, God, you say yes. Turning around for my good. When the way seems dark, you are my light. It's turning around for my good. Even though I can't see, but I still trust you. Turning around. You're Jehovah mighty, fighting all my battles. All I see is turning around, yeah, turning around for my good. Everywhere I go, yeah, turning around for my good. When the doctor said no, turning around for my good. When the way seems dark, come on, turning around for my good. Even though I still trust you are my strength, God. Hey, hey. You are Jehovah mine, in all my lives. Turning around for my good. All I see is turning around, yeah, yeah.